Does your morning routine suck? Well, luckily, I'm here to help you fix it. If I read one more article on Medium about why waking up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. is the only way to be successful in this world, I think I'm just gonna because at the end of the day, the perfect morning routine for you is your perfect morning routine. Let me break that down. So I'm going to share with you some facts about having a successful morning routine, and I'm also going to share with you mine and what I've been experimenting with. But I am a true believer that the routine that works for you is going to be the one that is easiest for you to stick with, that makes you feel freaking fantastic in the morning, and that doesn't involve any connection to the internet before 9 a.m. So if we wanted to simplify the perfect morning routine, it would probably basically contain those elements. Let me tell you a little bit about my morning routine. So I wake up naturally, typically around sort of 6 a.m., mainly because at the time of recording this, my puppy wakes up then and she needs to go for a pee. Puppies are a fantastic natural alarm clock. Side hint, could be useful for you if you're not a morning person. Secondly, I've started going to bed earlier. As a notorious night owl who can also function really well in the morning, I've just essentially been taking myself off to sleep earlier and I say not, looking at anything online past 7 p.m. My man and I have a little rule that after 7 p.m. we aim to get off our laptops. We shouldn't even be on the freaking laptops by then. And we essentially spend a lovely evening together, going out to dinner, reading books, playing Scrabble, watching a movie, dinner with friends, whatever it may be, playing ultimate frisbee, playing tennis. But we basically aren't on our computers anymore. The same goes for your mobile phone. Pesky little mobile phone, even though I did just get a new Samsung Galaxy 8, which is going to totally date this video in like 5 months. So essentially, we are off our phones right through until when we wake up in the morning. And the going to bed earlier and the waking naturally, surprisingly, works really well. Now, what's the next step after that? For me, I feel like $1 million when I do yoga in the morning. So essentially, when I have days and I don't do yoga, I feel more like $1. And it's pretty easy for me to prioritize yoga based on the fact that even 10 minutes of doing sun salutations makes me feel like a rock star. So my morning routine is do not check the phone, have it on flight mode, and essentially somewhere not near your bed so you can't pick it up, but definitely on flight mode, so no notifications, no pop-ups, nothing can happen during the night and when you wake up. The next trick is not reaching for your phone. It's taken me a while not to do that, but now I wake up, I snuggle with my pups, I roll over and say hi to my lover, and then I will get up and I will roll into yoga. And I've made this really easy for myself. I've taken my old iPad 1 generation, which does nothing else now apart from the really basic functions. Thanks, Apple. And I have Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube, on demand, ready to go. So the only thing I use my iPad for is to prop it up on our lovely little sort of seat in our room next to the candles. I turn on the incense burner with some essential oils. I rock it out with Adrienne as she takes me into a 15, a 20, a 25, or a 30-minute yoga that is guided, and it's brilliant. And then after that, and whilst trying to push the puppies away who are trying to eat the yoga mat and step all over me and play, I roll into a meditation. Now, meditation is the best thing in the world. The benefits of it are just abundant. And yet, I still haven't quite cracked it. However, for the last month, I have been doing it first thing in the morning after yoga, and I have literally been experimenting with between 5 and 20 minutes. If 20 minutes is good enough for Tim Ferriss, 20 minutes is good enough for you and I. But even 5 minutes of just focusing on the breath in for 4 and the breath out for 4. And the breath in for 4. Oh, distraction. And the breath out for 4. And the breath in. Now, what's that thing on my to-do list? And the breath out for 4. And the breath in. Oh, what's that dog doing? And the breath out. You know what I'm talking about. This happens to you too. But seriously, 5 to 10 minutes and a little bit longer is really starting to make an impact. And it's starting to make an impact on how I react to other things. Essentially, I now breathe before a reaction. I'm calmer. I'm in a better state of mind. I go throughout the day with more ease, more grace, and generally better flow. So when I start my morning off by waking up naturally, and then I roll into some yoga that feels good, and then I roll into a short meditation that I can just about focus on for between 5 and 20 minutes, then I feel like I am prepared for the perfect day ahead. And then, by this stage, I still haven't picked up my phone. I'll pick it up and take it through the kitchen, and I will make myself breakfast, because breakfast is my favorite meal of the day, and we have fresh eggs from our chickens. So I make an omelette or scrambled eggs or smoked eggs and salmon pretty much every day. However, I have been experimenting with fasting. A fast that basically means I don't eat until 11 a.m. and then I stop eating after 7 p.m. So that's kind of a 5 days on, 2 days off. I'm going to go into that in another video, but there are many, many benefits to fasting as well. And those include massive mental clarity and awareness, and it's great for your digestion, and it's just all around good for you to be able to not always be digesting food. But that will be coming up in another Quest for Freedom video on my Freedomist channel. Just something all around the freedom things. So that's the morning routine, and then, and only then, do I roll into my 3 MIAs, not missing in actions, my 3 most important actions of the day. And those are the only things I focus on for the next couple of hours. So that's my morning routine. It's been working incredibly well for me. As you can see, I experiment and I play with it. I'm not one of these people who's like, you must wake up at 4 a.m. You must do your gratitudes. You must write in your journal. Then you must follow that by yoga, meditation, hot water and lemon, which I do really love hot water and lemon. And then all these other things. Like that to me is setting yourself up for failure, because you have 12 items on your to-do list from the minute you wake up. And that doesn't feel free to me. That doesn't feel like freedom. And that certainly doesn't feel like I get to choose my best morning. As an aside, one of my other great starts to the morning, especially on the weekend, doesn't involve any of those things. It involves a little bit of sexy time, or breakfast in bed, or simply lazing around, reading a book, and just enjoying the morning sun come up over our garden. So can we please freaking take the time to enjoy our mornings the way we want to enjoy them? But you've probably noticed one underlying theme throughout all these tips of my morning routine, and what I think might suit you, is to essentially not be connected and checking email or social media or anything that is going to distract you and put you into reactive rather than proactive before 9 a.m. or whatever time it is that you choose. If you're getting up at 5 a.m., good for you. And that may mean that by 7 a.m. you're ready to take on the day. But my point is, allow the day to become yours, not to become somebody else's. That's it. That's how to make your morning routine not suck, and make it, in fact, your perfect day. And if you'd like to know more about how to have more of your perfect days, click the link below. I have this awesome ebook, which is basically all about how to have your perfect day. I know. I couldn't have made it any more simple for you. That one is definitely worth reading. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back next week with some more awesome tips just for you, so you can have more happiness, joy, and freedom in your everyday personal and professional life.